All right.
Well,
Welcome to
third
the
week's the charm.
podcast.
Well, thank you.
So, Bailey, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Um, all right. Well, my name is Bailey, obviously. I'm a student at University of Wisconsin Eau Claire. I'm in my last semester, thank God. I love it up here. I just don't love school. I have been doing CrossFit for like 7 years now. It's been a while.
Okay.
And I started coaching in January of last year. So I coach at one of the local gyms here. I picked up, some more bodybuilding stuff lately. I'm in the Army National Guard for now. I'm working on transferring over to the Air Force.
Okay.
So they have, right now, I'm a fire direction specialist. So I shoot like rockets and cannons.
Fun.
And then it's like cool like the first like few times, and then it's like another day.
I'm just pushing a button.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm hoping to do paralegal stuff in the Air Force. So still kind of waiting to hear on that. I have a 10-month-old puppy named Zeus, who is very naughty sometimes, and he actually ate my floor the other day.
Solid.
Like linoleum floor, just chewed it all up. And I have a rental house, so I had to glue the floor back together. It was great.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I
was so mad.
I don't think Thor has done anything that crazy. He's 11 months old, and he's torn a corner of our Chase lounge apart he did it when he was like 5 months old, and then every like couple days he'll like revisit it and he'll be like, oh yeah, I did this. There's still fluff coming out of it.
Oh my gosh. Zeus did that to my mom's couch. She was not thrilled.
No, we moved in here a year and a half ago, and we had like a couch, just a nice couch, super comfortable. And then we got Thor last April, and then we have since then gotten a new couch.
Yeah. Dogs gotta love them.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be the runt of the litter. At least that's what we were told. So like he would scooch under the couch and just like hide out down there, and then like he would chew the underside of the couch.
Oh no.
And then he would just like, he's apparently not the runt of the litter, because he is taller than all the adult German Shepherds that he has seen so far. And can
not very runty.
No, he can place his chin on our kitchen table without tilting his head.
Big boy.
Yeah, he's like a horse. It's ridiculous. So we had to get a new couch. And like as soon as we got the new couch, which was like in the summer when he was like 6 months old, he still tried to fit under it, but he couldn't. And so just like scraping and digging away. And then we got a rug, like a big like 8x10 rug. So now he can't slide under it.
Ooh, smart. Zeus would just eat the rug.
Yeah. So he's pulled it up a few times, but he hasn't eaten it yet. So what got you started in CrossFit and fitness in general?
Honestly, like I was always in sports when I was growing up. Like I did basketball, soccer, like you name it, from like the peewees on up all the way through high school. So honestly, soccer is the only sport that I continued like through high school, like the entire time. And I was actually kind of looking to play in college, but it was like at that point, like I was in like the National Guard and stuff, and I was still working. Like I still worked all the way through college. So I was like, that's going to be a little too much on the schedule. So I did like some intramural stuff, but the big drive for like as far as really getting into it was probably the military. My mom actually had started CrossFit like, I don't know, like a couple months, maybe a year before I did. She had started going, and she's like, it's really fun. You like it? And I was like, yeah, I need to get in shape. Not that I wasn't in shape, but more like, muscly, I guess you could say, like her basic and everything. So I started going there, and I actually would go on see. We always had games Tuesday, Thursdays. So I would do CrossFit Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
And then once I went to basic and all that, I came back and I started going every day and just kind of continued on with that. And then I don't know, I just became kind of addicted to it, especially once like I got out of high school and I got out of those sports. It was my freshman year of college and I had a car up here, but I didn't have like a parking spot that was even remotely close to where I lived.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really want to drive like a ton. Like, gas is more expensive up here. I was like, I'll just do my school gym.
Okay.
Yeah, that lasted a semester because I was like, whew, I have put on some weight. So then I started going to Fit Elite, which is like my current gym.
Okay.
And I've been going there ever since, well, permitting, not being gone like on a deployment or, anything else like that. So off and on. And I actually had my sophomore year of college, Michael reached out to me because I knew Rob from my previous gym. And obviously him and Rob were, besties for the resties. So he reached out to me and I started working with him. And I can honestly say that is the fittest I have ever been.
Yeah. It's crazy the things he gets you to do for fitness.
Oh yeah. Like you look at the programming, you're just like 45-minute row, huh? Okay.
Yeah. You want me to go on the elliptical for 30 minutes? What am I going to do?
Yeah. It's like something you got to like find something to like entertain yourself because it's like it's so long.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to do what for what? Like,
yep.
All right, let's go do it.
Or like they'll give you like just time caps and it's just like, you want me to do all of that in 10 minutes? Really?
It's like, okay. If they have to call like their special person to crawl, like get me off the floor so I don't like take up their space too long.
Need to get some life alert necklaces here.
Like I'm gonna trip and fall, but that's okay, Michael. We got this.
Yeah. I will literally stumble through this workout.
Yeah. Like I had to join. I haven't been a part of a CrossFit gym since COVID because we shut down and then the owner just decided to close up. So I've been going to like regular gyms and it's so weird. Like I haven't been part of like a regular gym in 7 years. So I was just like, I have to get used to this again. And then I'll be doing like a Metcon or something. And then she's like, thankfully it's a lifetime, or one of them. I have 2 gym memberships. One of them is a lifetime. So obviously they have like their alpha room so they know what CrossFit is, or at least most people do. So I'll be doing something and then just people that don't know what it is, they'll just be like, is he okay over there? It's like,
yes, that's
yes,
like
I
honestly, that was like probably the worst part. Like, so I was doing like one of the summers that I was home, like my work schedule was really weird. So I didn't go to the CrossFit gym. I just went to the Anytime Fitness. And I started going like either like really late or like really early because I would have people just like, what is she doing? And then like the best part was when they tried to mimic it. Like when they tried to do something that I was doing, oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Yeah, I was like, there's so many, because like I was just collecting like Trump's baby daddy money for however long. And so I'd just go to the gym. And then like when I was there, it was just all old people. And they'd be like, come in, sit on the rowers together, like do their thing. And then they'd walk over and be like, oh, what are you doing? It's like,
yeah.
not going to explain it, but have a good day, guys. Or like, I haven't had to explain my like limp to people in forever, because normally when I go to a CrossFit gym, somebody has like heard about it or whatever.
Yeah.
So like within the first like 2 weeks, every day, hey, you okay? Did you get hurt? Oh man, thank you for your service. I did not serve. I'm sorry. Like, they're like, oh, what branch of the military were you in? None.
They just automatically assume that
Automatically.
I can't say that I've ever like had that happen. Like you don't just walk up to some like other thing like injuries and stuff can happen like
Yeah.
outside of the military and like people are born with stuff too. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. And like this old couple walked past me once and like I was doing RDLs and the guy was like he must have seen me walk or something. And he's like I could see his wife was just like, don't say anything. And he was like, I was like, this is gonna be great. And he's like, hey man, you rehabbing a knee? And I was like, no, muscular dystrophy. And he's like, oh, so rehabbing everything. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I said not to ask.
That's the best when you have like, you know, the guy who's very outspoken and the wife is just like, no, be respectful.
Yeah. And they were like in their 70s, overweight, and they
Oh,
went on the
God.
rower for a solid 3 minutes, which good for them. But like,
But still not really gonna help you a ton.
it's like, guys, no, like you just saw me doing RDLs. This has nothing to do with my knee.
Yeah. I love watching people and like, you know, power to people who do go to the gym and stuff, but like especially like when I started to get into coaching and everything, like I was at this like powerlifting gym in Madison and it was super nice gym. So it's like Madtown. Um and there was these I'm assuming they were football players because otherwise like normal people don't just go and do like cleans.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys were doing cleans and it was so painful to watch them. Like the one dude was doing, so he was doing like clean pulls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's what he was kind of going for. But he would go like from the floor and he would do like his pull kind of, but he would jump. Like it was just like a shrug. Like it wasn't even like the full pull. It was just a shrug and he would jump. So all of like the weight, because of naturally he had like 200 pounds on the bar.
Of course he did.
He was like literally had that and his body weight and just like crashing like when he'd land. And I'm just like, my spine, how? Like I was like, I need to leave before I say something and they get offended because like not only do they not know me, but I'm also a female and like critiquing them on their man stuff is not going to go well.
And that's probably what their high school strength and conditioning coach told them to do.
Yep, exactly.
I was very blessed in high school to have some really good coaches. Like I didn't start lifting until I was 16. So the end of my junior year of high school. And like because I went to a very small private Christian school and the only sport we had was soccer. I am trash at running.
Interesting.
So obviously no soccer, but the public school got a brand new football coach, and that football coach was my basketball and baseball coach when I was a kid, and his wife was my math tutor when I was a kid. So he knew I was graduating. He knew my younger brother was going to be a freshman and his friends were going to be freshmen the next year. And he asked if we would co-op with them. So our schools joined sports so we could go play football. And I was like, it's my senior year. I don't care what people say. I'm going to go play football. And so like I started weightlifting and our coaches were like, they're like, all right, let's see if you can squat. And I was like, probably not going to happen, but let's see what happens. And like I fell and I was like, can we try something else? And they're like, sit to the box. And I was like, oh, that's a thing? I can sit. All right.
Yeah, that's fine. I got that. I do that every day.
That's cool. That's cool. So just sit. And then so like every Wednesday we would clean or snatch, but like you weren't allowed to add weight until like you actually learned how to do it. I was like, this is super cool. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have no idea what any of this is, but this is a good time. And then like 5 years later, I started CrossFit and I was like, hey, I remember this.
I can do this. I got
Like,
this.
it's like, yeah. And the guy that got me to start CrossFit was like when I was a senior in high school, that summer, him and the rest of the hospital staff, because we had a gym inside the hospital, and him and the other trainers would come like help us train if we needed it, or like they would give their services to football players that would go do it. So he ended up being my first CrossFit coach. So like we had already known each other for 5 years.
Yeah.
And like I would go in to ask him questions randomly, and I job shadowed him at the end of my senior year. And I was like, oh, I remember you showing me this like 5 years ago, but now we're doing CrossFit. All right, cool.
Level up.
All right, let's go. But so what made you join the military?
Honestly,
Just
I don't
needed
even
something
remember,
to do.
like, well, I mean, there's that. Like I was kind of looking into, like, obviously a big thing was like paying for school.
Okay.
Like my older sister was like super, super smart, like got like a ton of scholarships and everything. And like I got a few, but I was nowhere near like her level intellectually.
Gotcha.
But I think it was like one day, like almost like my sophomore or maybe the beginning of my junior year, because I actually enlisted like at 17, so in my junior year, I kind of was just like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, because I am going to school for criminal justice and like a minor in psychology, and I eventually want to do federal law enforcement.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, like military, like is obviously a great way to like kind of set myself up. And so I enlisted, excuse me, at 17, and I went to basic in between my junior and senior year of high school. And then once I graduated high school, I went to my AIT, so like job training and everything. And then I just like, I went to my unit then after that, and I was there for 2 years, I think, before we got like wind of a deployment and everything. And so I went overseas for a year. Well, no, like a year total, like training and everything. But honestly, like I couldn't see myself doing like anything else. Like I have no idea how much different my life would be like had I not joined. Like because some of like my best friends are like in the military, like I've met through the military. Like I pretty much know a person in like every state. Like and just like the experience, like life experience and stuff. The only time I've ever been out of the country was actually for my deployment.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, first time I was on a plane was going to basic training. So definitely got a lot of different experiences and stuff like through it. And like it's helped me out in the long run, like with school and everything. You know, I make money going to school because of obviously like the tuition stuff. And then like I have those few scholarships, thankfully, that, oh, sorry, I just elbowed my dog.
Nobody saw it.
Yeah, he's just in the corner. So yeah, it's just such a cool thing. And like obviously going through and like having to do some of the stuff that I've had to, like, you know, sleeping on the dirt and being up for forever. Like it's like I'm never re-enlisting. Like why did I do this? And then you'll be like with your friends or whatever and like hanging out after like a drill weekend, or like you're hanging out with people like who are literally your family. And it's just like, I'll do another 6 years. It'll be fine.
That's awesome. Where have you had to deploy? Are you allowed to say it? You said like before we started, you said you had been on a 9-month COVID deployment.
Oh yeah. So that was obviously recent. In April, they sent out like a little message. It's just like, hey, like who wants to go on orders for like 2 weeks, you know, in Milwaukee, and you know, it's a good way to make a little money, whatever. And at that point, I had found my dog, and I was about like gonna get my dog in May, and I was like, oh, perfect, like I'll make some money or whatever. Like so obviously he's gonna have to go to the vet a few times and get his shots and everything. So I was like, all right, sign me up. So I went and like we reported to Milwaukee at I think it's called the FRC or something. I don't know. It was basically like a little pop-up like
Okay.
hospital at like the state fairgrounds. And so we all got like our temporary nursing assistant certification, whatever. And we were supposed to work at this. But then they pulled like 20 of us or so to go work at a call center. And I was one of those people.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, the first 3 days was pretty chill. And then like at our like peak like calling before they got like the email systems up and everything else like that, we were calling around 7,000 people a day,
Solid.
like with test results and stuff. And thankfully, I did not have to talk on the phone that much. Like I was a logger, so I
Okay.
kept like digital records of everything and like everything that we like who we contacted, who we didn't, like all that stuff, and I was in charge of that, thankfully. And thankfully I didn't have to like move around, because if you were on like a testing team you had to move all around Wisconsin, and I got to stay in Madison the whole time, which worked out because my puppy was living at my parents' house because I was, living out of a hotel.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. My other deployment, that was in 18 and 19. So we went and we got overseas in August of 18, and
Okay.
we flew into Kuwait, and we were in Kuwait for like a week or two. I honestly don't even remember. And then I was in Jordan for about 5 months,
Okay.
and at this Air Force base, which is actually pretty nice, honestly. If you ever have to, go to a base, go to an Air Force base. They have nice things, like free Wi-Fi
Oh, there you
and
go.
bars. Like they have a bar to fund the Wi-Fi, which is really smart. But of course, the Army couldn't drink or anything else like that.
Hey.
So I was there, and then went into Syria a couple times, like while we were in Jordan, and
Okay.
then I then went to UAE. So I stopped in. Do you say Qatar or Qatar?
Either.
So
I've never
I've always.
really talked to anybody about it, so it's
So
never
I've
came up in any conversation. So
That's fair. I've always said Qatar. I don't know
okay.
why. Like maybe because it's just like a cue, whatever. But then everyone's like, "Yeah, Qatar," and I was like, "What?" So
We're going where? You're
yeah,
doing what?
exactly.
All right. What's our
I was
mission? Got it.
yeah, I was there for a few days, and then I was in UAE for the rest of it. With like so I was at a line unit for like while I was in Jordan and stuff, and then I went to like our battalion basically. So
Okay.
like line units down here, and then I went to like the higher ups, so the ones sending the missions down to the line units. I was there for like 4 months, and then we got home in May. Yeah, I think like towards the end of May.
Okay.
So we were in like Texas, and obviously and doing like all the pre-training stuff and whatever. So when everything was said and done, it was about a year.
Okay. That's not too long. Just a little bit.
No, and like honestly, it goes by pretty fast. Like it seems like it, like the days are really long, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's time to leave.
It's like, oh, we're going? Okay.
Yeah, except for when you're in Texas on post deployment, that is the longest. It's longer than the whole deployment itself. We were down there for like I think like a week, 2 weeks or
Okay.
something, because it's like you're so close, but like you have to like out process and do whatever. But like they'll put like 5 things on one day, and then you have like 4 days that you don't do shit.
You're just like, I'm in Texas. I'm so close to home.
Yep,
Can I leave now, guys?
exactly.
Please let me leave.
Yep.
Uh, that's like the long, like never-ending days is like how I feel at work right now, because I work noon to midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like four
Yeah.
12s in a row. And I'm just sitting in my patrol car, just like, all right, 1 hour down, 11 to go.
Yes. Oh, I do not miss that.
Here we go. And then like I'll have my 3 days off, and I'm just like, oh, those days are over already?
Yep.
What just happened?
Exactly.
I was just at work. Wasn't I
Yep.
just there yesterday? No? Okay.
No, not for a few days. Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right.
I thought I was okay. Wait, why are you bleeding over there? Get
Yeah.
away.
Hang on. Can you, what did you say? You did what with who for where? What?
I got to call this in.
Damn it.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's not do anything stupid today.
Or like the last few hours, like the last hour is just like, please
Don't do
nothing happen.
anything.
Please
I'm
nothing
so
happen.
close.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid. You need me where?
All
Come on,
right.
guys. He's doing what? Okay. Like, there has been some interesting calls that they're like, can you come do this? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
They're
Sure.
doing what? You should probably call back up. Okay. And then, like, I'll call dispatch. She's like, this is what's going on. Did you call the police? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to assist? Yes. Okay. Thank you for letting us know. Let us know if you're still alive. Okay. Thanks.
Good talk.
Good talk. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye. Ridiculous. But it makes for great stand-up material. So,
True. Very, very true.
like, just an hour of just ridiculousness that happens, or just things you see. It's like, what in the world? Like, sir, no, go away. Leave the premises, please. Don't want to deal with this morning.
Yeah, one of my friends is a cop in Appleton, and so it's funny because I like hear like stories and stuff, like, or I've done a ride along with him.
Okay.
And so like just everything that's happened there. And then I actually interned at a public defender's office for a few months, before COVID hit, and then COVID ruined everything. But like just seeing, like, going through the cases and like going through like the evidence, the body cams and everything else like that, like sometimes you're just like, I have to laugh.
Yeah.
Like I can't not laugh. Or like being in court. The first time that I went to court with one of the attorneys, they had like little one-on-ones like before the court, like the hearing and everything. And this one guy, first off, I was like mesmerized by this dude's voice because it was so low.
Okay.
Like it was like distracting, like beyond anything. Like think of like Morgan Freeman's voice, but just like 10 times lower.
Okay. I want this dude to narrate my story.
Yeah, same. And I'm just like sitting there, just like listening to him talk. And so like they have to sign like this whatever agreement and stuff. And then he slides it to me. He goes, now she signed it with her phone number, right? And I was like, and the attorney's just like, she's our intern. Sorry, she can't. Like, I was like, sir, you're in court for your like 7th offense. No, thank you.
No, I'm sorry. Taken.
I'm actually into girls. Sorry.
I'm sorry. You're not my type.
I am asexual.
It's like, you are not my type. I don't like these things. Like, get away from me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Sorry, sir. Oh, man. So what are some of your future plans? Like, do you have anything other than like, joining the Air Force?
So obviously like that's kind of immediate. I graduate in May, which is like, I'm so excited.
Very soon.
It's going to be weird though. Like I, spent my whole life basically in school. Well, off and on school. Yeah, after that, I will, because I'm going to the Air Force, I have to do my tech school. So thankfully I don't have to do like basic or anything over again, but I'll do job training. Yeah. Don't want to go through that again. So I'll have to do like job training and stuff. So if I get the paralegal position, that's going to be like 4.5 months in Texas. So that'll be right after I graduate pretty much. And then once I'm done with that, I mean, that's the thing is if I get through this course and everything, like I can practice as a paralegal, like on the civilian side too.
Well, that's cool.
So that's just kind of like another option. So I don't know, like I'll look around for that. Otherwise, like I was planning on, applying to a couple different PDs and, seeing that where that route takes me. And then eventually, hopefully, maybe applying to like FBI and stuff.
Okay.
But you need 2 years like work experience, like, more concrete than just, coaching at a gym part time.
Yeah. What are your experiences? Well, I don't know how to pronounce this country, but I've been there. I coach fitness, so I got you if you need me.
Yep.
And I was really bored in Texas for 2 weeks.
And I've shot a rocket.
There you go. And I've shot rockets. So if you need any of that in the FBI, I'm your girl.
Yeah. That's like, when I was enlisting, I wanted something that was, somewhat pertinent to like anything that I wanted to do. So like something, whether it was like EOD or like MP, anything like that. They're just like, nope, here's this job. And I was like, okay. Like I had no idea what my job was when I went to MEPS. Like they showed me this video of like, a HIMARS, which is like our rocket launching trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed me a video of this shooting. They're just like, yeah, this is what you'll do. And it's like, cool. Okay. Like I could do that. And they're just like, oh, like, what's your job? And I couldn't remember the name of it. I was like, rockets.
Something.
That's it.
I
that's
pushed
all I know.
The rocket button.
Yeah. Which not even, I'm like they always call us the nerds because we are like the computer and stuff behind it.
Gotcha.
So like we're making sure the missions like are verified coordinates, all that stuff, and then we push them to the launchers. We're not even in the launchers, and so I was like, this is so stupid. But
big red button. You push it now.
Pretty much.
I got it all set up for you, man.
Yeah. Literally, like, hey, you're good to go. Like, shoot.
3, 2, 1.
It's a lot louder than that, but I think that one's funnier.
It's like, so what do? I set up rockets on a computer and then tell the person when to shoot it.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
I mean, we're the only reason it gets shot, though. Like, without us, I mean, we could do like we have like these, the computers are just like massive. They're just like this thick and they're super, super expensive, but they're just like, honestly, you could probably like beat someone up with it and then it'd probably be fine.
That's fantastic.
That's how like clunky and chunky and everything these computers are.
It's like the computers that like back in the day when like in the 80s when they made movies in the future, it's like what they thought computers would look like.
Yes.
Instead of what computers actually are that are like super small and like all the hardware and software is like in this tiny little thing.
Yep.
And then everyone that made those movies is just like, I was so close. I almost knew what computers were going to be like.
Yeah. Army's so like nice and far back. They actually, I think they're just starting to like replace, because like before they were like green, now they're like nicer tan ones.
Okay.
And like they're still very clunky. Like they're like the epitome of like a tactical laptop.
Okay.
If you have to picture a tactical laptop, that's what our system looks like.
It's like it is camouflaged in the desert. You can't see it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
What's that thing over there? It's like, what's that thing over there, sir? I don't know. I think it's a computer, but I can't tell. It fits in with the landscape.
Yup.
Like there's a computer store like 5 miles from our house that we'll go to every once in a while. And there are so many things there that I never thought. I was like, what? Who needs this?
Everyone
Like
needs it.
there's a monitor that it's like, so they make like curved screen TVs now. So like it's a curved screen for a monitor, but it's like super curved in. And it's so big you can bring up two screens on one monitor. So like instead of like having a monitor connected to your laptop and having one screen there and one screen there, it has two separate screens on the same monitor. And it's like $3,000.
I'm sure plenty of nerds have it.
Yeah. It's like the nerdiest place I have ever been to. Like you walk in and you're just like, you like computers. You like computers. You definitely like computers.
There's no doubt in my mind that you know all like what all these parts are.
Yeah. And then I was wearing this hat, and this is like a Black Rifle Coffee hat.
Yeah.
And the dude at the checkout was like, hey man, that coffee's great. And I was like, what?
Like, you actually know what this is?
He's like, yeah, I got some for Christmas. And I was like, you what? How did you work on computers?
Yeah.
No offense, man, but like, didn't expect to hear that come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
What
I
gym
feel like
do you
people
go
always
to?
notice the weirdest things. Yeah.
Like, what gym did you go to? Like, or one dude was wearing a mask from a local gym, and I was like, and he was an employee there, and I was like, huh,
Interesting.
okay. I'm gonna come in here and talk to you next time because you work out and you know computers. Like, we're gonna get along great. What game
You're
should I
everything I
get?
need.
Yeah, what game should I get next, sir? And then they have like, there's like a shelf right when you walk in, just full of like microphones and like headsets with special microphones on it. And then there's a locked like deadbolt case that you can see through with super expensive microphones that make no sense for the amount of money that they are. And I was like, and it was like perfect podcast setup. And then you look inside the glass case and you're just like, that's a lot. That's a microphone.
Yeah, but it's a super fancy microphone that probably lights up.
Yeah. Who needs to spend $200 on a microphone? It's just
Everyone.
silver. It's just silver.
You don't even really see it typically.
No. Like I have one right here and you don't see it the whole time. I mean, they do make a difference. The first 3 podcasts I did, you could barely hear anything I said to the other person. And I was like, oh, so it's a one-sided conversation for 35 minutes. They're just listening to the answers of the questions. They don't know what the questions are.
That's part of it's part of the draw. You got to guess the questions.
Yeah. It's like, all right, guys, in the show notes, you will read what the questions are. Yeah. And then you can listen to the answers.
Just like split screen it or something. Like just have them up while you're listening.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey,
this is
don't
trash.
bite my pillow. He like just attacked my pillows for no reason. They didn't do nothing to you. Stop.
Yeah, we have to put our couch pillows in the closet sometimes because Thor will undo the zipper and then take the stuffing out.
He's done that before to like my mom's pillows. He hasn't, knock on wood, he hasn't done it to these ones, but it's like, come on, dude.
It's like, how'd you get so smart that you know where the zipper is and you know that's how you get the fluff out of there?
Yeah, like this is why we can't have nice things because you chew on my pillows and eat my floors.
Yeah, it's looked like Christmas morning in our house several times because there's just fluffy everywhere. Just looks like there's snow. So what top 3 lessons have you learned in the last year or so that you think could help somebody that maybe is having a hard time dealing with either COVID or just dealing with whatever that you think could help them? Being in the military, going on COVID units and all that stuff, or just life in general.
The first one would be like, don't be afraid to ask for help. And like, this is something like I struggle with a lot. because I'm very much the person like I can do it on my own. Like I got this. Like especially being like a female in the military, like
Mm-hmm.
in a male dominant MOS, like I was the third female at my unit ever.
Okay. Ever.
Um so just like not being afraid to ask for help, like no matter what, like say, whether it's like school, whether it's life, whether it's anything, like asking for help and like having like people in your corner, like that's probably the most like valuable thing, like, and something I'm trying to work on too,
Mm-hmm.
like because I tend to like over stress myself like about things that it's like if I were to talk to someone or if I were to, you know, ask someone like, hey, like, what would you do? Or like, how did you do this? Then it's like I could save myself all of that, like worrying, but
Mm-hmm.
no, because I'm stubborn. So, but that's a big one. Um, I actually had to do this for an assignment yesterday. I'm a big believer in like what's meant to be will be.
Okay.
So like 2020 has been very rough on like a lot of people and especially like a lot of relationships. Like I went through a lot of drama with that in 2020 for sure. Just basically like knowing your worth and, you know, not like you can be upset about something. Like obviously if something like bad happens or something like you didn't expect, you can be upset about it. But like the biggest thing is to not dwell on it and to just use that and move forward, which still trying to do that too. um, and then just like still like find something that drives you, like still live your life. Like I know with like COVID and stuff, like a lot of stuff has changed. Like you can't just go out and party with your friends and you can't, you know, just go and drop in and see anyone anywhere or like go to a restaurant without worrying like, oh, I forgot a mask or like are the tables all full? Like are they at max capacity and stuff? Like don't let like still be obviously conscious because COVID is still a problem, like wearing a mask, everything else. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
fuck the rules, but like still live your life, like find other things like to do, like go like walk outside. I know it's snowy and cold and whatever, but like I still try to get out and walk Zeus. Like just learning new things and like picking up hobbies. Like um I know like for me, like I haven't like drawn or like sketched or anything in a while. So I picked that back up a little bit and because I was bored one night and now that I'm starting school, that might not happen as much anymore either. But and also Zeus ate my pencils.
It's
Like
like, look, a stick.
well, it was in like a little pouch, thankfully, because I had like my like regular sketching ones and then I had my charcoal ones in there too.
Mm.
And so thankfully it was in a pouch, but he like shredded them through the pouch. And I was like, oh my God. Like, and that was while I was fixing the floor. I was like, dog for sale. Like,
100 free dog for sale. It's
yeah,
technically for sale.
literally.
Just, here you go.
He's 85 pounds with a bowling ball head, and he will run into you and everything you own. But
Oh man.
he's very sweet. He means the best.
That's awesome. And then the last question, what 3 books would you recommend for people to read? They can be fiction, nonfiction.
So I think one of my favorite ones is Chasing Excellence by Ben Bergeron.
Okay.
I read that in a day. I was on a 12-hour security shift my sophomore year, and I read it in a shift because I
Solid.
could not put it down. It's just super cool. Like even if like you're not big into like CrossFit or like even really like know who the people are, it just shows like a different like philosophy and just like a different like mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was super cool. Another one is these are all like CrossFit books, but these are the ones that I found like super interesting. Was Katrin Davidsdottir's book. I can't think
Okay.
of. I don't know what the name of it is. If that's like just her biography or I don't know. But that one listened to like on like the audiobook and everything, and I was just
Okay.
obsessed. And then if you're into like all like the fantasy, like, you know, like vampires, like all that stuff, like I am, like I'm super nerdy about that stuff. Like
Twilight. Go
I
give it a read.
okay, no, not Twilight. Well, okay, I do have all the Twilight books. I have read all the Twilight books. I've seen all the movies in theaters because I am that girl. No, I found this author, and she like I think how the reason I had this book is because when I was little I used to do horse shows.
Okay.
And we were staying at a hotel for this horse show, and the hotel had like a like free book bin, I guess.
Okay.
And so my sisters and I grabbed a bunch of books that like looked interesting, even though they were like way above like our reading level. Like they were like novels, and we were in like fifth grade. Like not the point, especially once I read the book like later on, because I was looking for books to read in high school, and I like picked up. I was like, this looks cool. I read it, and I was like, ooh, this would not have been a good book for me to read when I was younger. But it's the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. There's like 24 books, and I have read all of them.
Solid. It's like 2 years of reading a book a month.
Oh no, I can like when I get reading, like I actually really love to read. Like when it's something that I'm interested in or something like I choose, I love to read. But like school and stuff, no.
What is this? A textbook? Trash.
Yeah, for real. Like I try to not, you know, if I don't have to read the textbook, I typically don't. But you know, that's
there were days where I'd bring a book to school. This is like high school because I didn't go to college. And like our math teacher was also our Spanish teacher and also our yearbook and computer teacher, because again, tiny little school. So like she'd randomly capture photos for the yearbook, and like I'm in math class reading a fiction book
awesome.
while I'm supposed to be listening to her do math, but she's also supposed to be teaching me math, yet taking pictures.
Yeah. How big was your graduating class?
6.
Oh my God.
There's me, one other guy, and then 4 girls. And the other guy wasn't even supposed to be there that year, but his mom was my chemistry teacher, and she didn't want him going to the public school anymore. So he showed up for his senior year, and that was it.
That's funny. So it was literally just you and a bunch of girls.
Yeah. My entire high school career. Well, entire high school career as in sophomore, junior, senior, because I was homeschooled 8th and 9th grade.
Yeah.
But like I went to elementary school with all these people too. So
yep.
It was like 13 years of my life.
Wild.
6 people. Super small. Like when I was a kid, like in elementary school, they were like me, like 4 other guys, and then the girls. But then like all the guys, including my cousin, like moved away. And then I stayed.
Just left you.
Just left me. Just all these annoying people. Just like almost didn't graduate high school on time, because when I was so I was homeschooled my freshman year, I didn't technically get a Phi-Ed credit because I'm homeschooled. So they told me like a month before graduation, they're like, hey, you don't have enough credits. And I was like, what do you mean I don't have enough credits? They're like, you're missing a Phi-Ed credit because you were homeschooled.
Like you could have told me that, you know, while I was in school.
Yeah.
Like these few years.
I was like, you mean I'm going to have to come back next year and just take Phi-Ed?
Summer school Phi-Ed.
I was like, so I can come back to school for 1 year and just take Phi-Ed? Not happening.
Yeah.
But thankfully, since I was like after football ended, they let me continue coming to the high school to work out and like train after school. So like I went up to the gym room, like the gym teacher / strength and conditioning coach. I was like, hey, so I might not graduate high school unless you sign a piece of paper that says like, come work out. And he's like, okay. So like,
Deal.
he's like, deal. He counted up the days. He kept track of all the people that were in there, wrote down how many times I worked out every week, signed it. And then I gave it to my principal and I was like, here you go. Here's my extra Phi Ed credit. Let me graduate high school.
Yeah. Please and thank you.
Like, I'm out of here. Get me out.
Yes, I'm trying to leave.
Oh, yeah. So where can people find you, Bailey? If that's a thing that you want to share.
I mean, as far as like social media goes, obviously like I'm on, like I really don't go on Facebook that much. So I mean, you can add me. I go through my friends list like once every few months, like adding people and whatever. I'm definitely pretty active on Instagram. So like bay.fit, BAI period FIT.
Okay.
You'll see my fitnessy things and my puppy primarily. I think that's kind of really it. And then otherwise, I mean, I coach at Fit Elite in Eau Claire. If anyone wants to do like a drop in or something, right now I'm coaching like 6:15 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and like 9:30 on Friday. If anyone wants to, just show up, be like, hey, I heard you on that podcast that one time, and here I am.
I'm here to work out. I feel like I know you so well.
Yeah.
I know
my dog
a
is
lot
super
about
destructive.
Like I know. Hi Bailey. Hi. I'm a drop-in. I heard your story. Can I take your class?
Yeah. I mean, go for it. If you are ever in the Eau Claire area, though, Fit Elite is top tier. Just so everyone knows. Not even necessarily if I'm coaching. We have great coaches there.
You guys do. I met them 6 years ago. 5 years.
Yeah, it was probably Shane.
Yep.
Shane and maybe Dave. Those are the owners.
Yep. I met them at Game Day Eau Claire 5 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was 5 years ago. Wow.
That was 5 years ago. That was my first game day ever.
Because I'm pretty sure I was there too.
2016?
Nope. It would have. Wait, yeah. Maybe. Now I have to look because it actually just popped up like in my memories.
Yeah.
Like the game day. I don't know if it was
one ever.
Now I need to check because I don't remember if it was 16 or 17 that we did it. Because I did a team that year.
So 16 was team and individual. 17 was teams of 3. And then
okay, so then I think I did it in 17 because I was in a team of 3. I'm just trying to remember because that was all obviously around the same time. I think I was working with Michael at the time. Let's see. Oh, no, I think it was in 18 that I did it.
Okay. Yeah, that was still teams of 3
2 years off.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anytime.